this is what we're focusing on today. All right. You can get these gloves on. We're going to get into these channel locks. This channel lock product, the Pure 8C. This is made in the USA, as are all channel locks. They have a bit of a history dating back, I forget how long ago, but we're looking at Pennsylvania for, I imagine they're near or over 100 years. They used to be called the Champion Tool brand, and then they switched to channel locks. We have a set here so we can compare. These are the actual pliers, the OG channel locks that you know, people use that name universally just as they do jacuzzi for hot tubs and whatnot. Sometimes they're not even channel locks, they're just pliers or slip joints, and people still call them channel locks. But this is a pry bar, 8-inch in overall length, 4-inch in your shank length, but this does have a full tang all the way through with a nice strike point on the end. We have a much smaller, more of a pocket-sized Lyle tool company. I believe this is made in China, but these are made in the USA, and the video is on this, not this, but we'll get to this in the next video. If you want to check it out, subscribe, and that'll be posting shortly days after this, I'm sure. So, first I want to get into some things. There's a link down below for this if you want. Pretty nice. I like it. Have I used it yet? No. But I have had some of the snap-on pry bars, and this isn't going to be a torture test video. This is just going to be a video of actually... We're actually going to clean this first, because if you check this out, my first impressions, this is how it came from the factory. Not the end of the world. I'm actually not even really complaining about this, because I'm going to use it, I'm going to get it dirty, and I'm going to have to clean it anyway. But I just wanted to make a video, quick video, kind of giving you a rundown of these tools. Let's see if that came off. Yeah, that came off pretty easily. This is just an alcohol wipe. What brand is this? Saturax. They smell terrible. After we wipe this, we're going to oil it. Oh, wow. Their paint is wearing off. Look at that. Immediately. I haven't even used this before, and it's wearing away. You just got to scrub pretty. You go hard enough. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's wearing right off. You got your strike plate here, which does not look brand new, to say the least. Warning. Wear safety goggles. User and bystanders. That's a good thing to add on there, you know. What I like to always say is just the number one safety tip is if you're doing anything, just always do it toward the person next to you. Cutting, shooting, whatever. Let's give this a wipe. Honestly, we can kind of have this as like a little backdrop for that now. So, got some ballistol here. All I'm going to do is just give it a drop right on that shank. That's all you need. One drop on the business end. And we're just going to rub it in with our fingers first. And this isn't going to be used for a while. And I'm going to go into some specks of this as this soaks in, soaks up. Also do a drop right in that belly. Let that soak in and get all nice and good. Strike point. So I don't buy pry bars unless they have one of these at the end, because the moment that you do need to kind of almost work it like a chisel and tap in, that's when these handles start to fail and start to break. I'm curious if I wipe this, if this will start to fade at all. That's already fading, man. I don't mind it, but no one's going to know this is a channel lock pretty soon. Before I get into the specs, what I'm going to do, this stuff, I was just doing some other things. We'll pop this open, and I'll just show you the different textures of the grips. So we have we're done with this. We have a set of channel locks right here. These are the slip joints. These are really, really slick, very rubbery. If you oil them, they get kind of wet. These have been used pretty heavily, as good as they look. I've just been taking a lot of care of them. This is more of an indoor set. Somebody borrowed these from me and left these outside. It's all good. I don't really mind. I don't really care. Tools are meant to get scratched anyway. But you have this material, and then this is more of a textured, like a screwdriver material, if you will. We got that cleaned up, so that's all good. I'm a little sad that faded. No big deal. I really don't care. It's not what they're for. They're not meant to look good, even though they do look good. But it's not the same. You know what I mean? Just want to throw that out there. We can get those out of the way. The feel is good. There's nothing I'm really going to use this on right now. But it's a good one-handed 4-inch pry, 8-inch tool. It's about the size of your average screwdriver. It's not bad. I like this. Amazon has a, what is this? A 4.7 from the CHANNELLOCK store, 73 ratings. It's an 8-inch pry bar. High carbon steel shank, textured molded handle, black phosphate oxide color, black phosphate. Yeah, it's a square 4-inch shank as opposed to a screwdriver being rounded. It tends to bend a lot easier and have less structural integrity there. Curved, 1/2-inch head for increased leverage, 4-sided high performance textured handle. Count 'em, 4. Offers control and chemical resistance. Clearly not. Just throwing that out there. I'm just kidding. You know what I mean. Forged 1/4-inch high carbon steel. That's good. It's drop forged. If you're not familiar with, you have cast, you have billet, you have forged. You're going to want forged tools if you want them to last. Your cast stuff is liquefied and typically diluted and compromised with other cheaper, less robust metals and materials, and it leaves more of an aerated, spongy, think almost whipped way because of the integrity, because this stuff, it gets poured into a mold and then it gets added in. And that's why you find stuff breaking like that. Now, that's not your typical tool steel. Cast steel is extremely cheap and extremely common for Chinese tools. It can be common for some stuff, but you normally find S7 steel in good machine accessories, equipment accessories. Good tools are going to be S7 steel, like billet. And then you have your, which that billet stuff is typically, it's a nice, good piece of metal that is machined and cut. So it still has a grain, and that's where it can be compromised. And the difference between those two and forged is the forged stuff is beaten to that shape. It's pressed, it's heated, and it's molded to that shape. It's tempered. If it's heat tempered, that's even better. But just to reiterate that, you have your cast, which is spongy. It's got air in the center. It's got little air bubbles, almost like a sponge cake. That isn't going to be as effective, as strong, as durable, or last as long, whereas you have something that's drop forged like this, it's going to be good. You have a go-through blade for added strength. So go-through blade, I imagine, is what they mean is the blade is going all the way through. I hope that's what they mean. I'm pretty sure it is. Indicators are heat stamped for easy identification. Indicators are heat stamped for easy identification. What heat stamped? Are you talking about that? CHANNELLOCK Blue Solid Grip reduces fatigue and maximizes control. This does feel good in the hand, but it doesn't feel as good as, say, I have a DeWalt screwdriver and a Stanley screwdriver set that I really like. It's not as good as this. Or, I mean, this is not as good as that, but still good. Still good. 100% made in the USA. I like that. I prefer to buy 100% made in USA stuff. Sometimes you just can't. Sometimes it is what it is. And that's going to lead into this in the next video, which We'll get into that in just a second. So if you like this video, give a thumbs up. There's a link down below for this if you want to grab it. What's the price right now? It is it 10 bucks? $12.62. It's a Prime product, so it's FBA, so fulfillment by Amazon. It's already stored in a warehouse nearby you, and it gets shipped. So one thing I am upset about. Now let's see, is my review, my rating accurate to the 4.7 rating you have on there? I'm going to say I would give this, in my super highly scientific, strategic, professional opinion, you have your little imperfections there. That wore off. It feels good, but not great. I do love the blue. I love the finish. I don't like that it was dirty when I got it, but again, it doesn't matter. I love that. We're going to give you, let's see where we would have deductions, right? I'm not giving a deduction there. That's necessary and needed. The forged steel, necessary, needed. The go-through blade all the way to the end of the strike point, needed. We're sitting on a 5 still. But where I'm going to knock you down to a 4.9 is the channel lock. Come on, man. It's fading already, and I just cleaned it. I had to clean it out of the box because it was dirty. We'll drop you down to a 4.8 because of that. The handle, how it feels good. Reduces fatigue, I don't know. Am I using this for 8 hours a day? No. We had a longer snap-on one, and that was used for prying open things, chutes. It's a pry bar, right? Better than using a concrete pin to pry open, just say like an asphalt chute that's been frozen solid after you've been hauling around an asphalt truck back and forth somewhere between job sites, run and gun, patching stuff, small holes, but lots of them. That asphalt gets cold and it seals that up. Even if you use a degreaser, Pave Pro, diesel fuel, anything like that. Don't use diesel fuel. I think it's illegal now to do that. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you it's the best thing you can use. I have no reason to drop down to a 4.7. So we're going to sit at a 4.8, I think. It looks good. It sure is pretty. And that's our channel lock. Down below, there's a link if you want one. Go get one. 10 bucks. Good to have. If you don't have anything like this, I highly encourage you to go get it. If this is too wide, buy 2 of them. Keep the wide one. Keep that integrity. And just file that down if you need to. Since we're here, what we'll end off on is how that looks. Seems like it's all the same steel, nothing welded onto the end. Nothing you can see, but we'll see once I sharpen it, if I sharpen it. Can you chisel with this? I don't know. But there you go, my friends. Hope this helped. Just kind of wanted to give you, maybe we'll do a torture test in the future, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what this is out of the box, in the hands, the feel, grip, everything, giving it a 4.8. So we're above what the rating is. That's a 4.7. Make sure you subscribe down below, something like that. Don't die.